of the leadership of the university will negatively impact their ability to recruit and retain Black faculty and staff? Well, until very recently, my expectation was that I would remain at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill as well. As I've said, this is my alma mater. I wasn't seeking to go into academia. It was this particular job at this particular place that I wanted to go and give back to the university that helped me build the career that I've built. But things really shifted after the story went public. A couple of things. I didn't have any idea the extent to which political interference had led to my being denied the tenure that every other Knight professor before me had achieved. All of them being white, me being the only Black woman. I certainly didn't know that the school's largest donor had been on a campaign against me behind the scenes. And then I think the final thing was, even with the actions of the Board of Trustees, had the university's leadership stood up and spoken out and publicly supported tenure as the right thing to do, then I would have felt that this was a place that I could probably still come and do great things at. But none of those things happened, and as other colleges were reaching out to me, I made the decision pretty early on that if I wasn't going to the University of North Carolina, I was going to go to a historically Black college. I don't think my decision, because I didn't create this situation. So if they're concerned about, so I think the message this sends is, one, universities are going to have to do a better job at not just bringing faculty in, but supporting faculty and students once they get on campus, but also that we have options, and we don't have to remain at institutions that don't seem to respect what we bring. And I'm very intentional with the decisions that I make and why. And I wanted to send a powerful message, or what I hoped would be a powerful message, that we're often treated like we should be lucky that these institutions let us in. But we don't have to go to those institutions if we don't want to. And I certainly have decided that I don't want to anymore. So, obviously what happened at Carolina was discrimination, I think racially, but it was also viewpoint discrimination. It was discrimination based on political people not liking the work that I have done, particularly around the 1619 Project, work that is centering race and the Black experience. So we're seeing, this is part of a larger wave of anti-free speech legislation and efforts that are being enacted all across this country. I think Americans need to have an understanding of the difference between history, which is what we think we know about the country, and history as in this is what actually happened about our country. And the role of history in public education should not be indoctrination, it should not be patriotism, it should be truth. How can our children grow up to understand this deeply divided country that we're in? How can we work towards becoming the country of our ideals if we don't actually understand what our country has been built upon? We have to be able to confront the truth of who we are. The fear of that means that we actually think America is fragile. We're pretending that we think America is strong. We're pretending that we think America is the greatest country in the history of the world. But if it is, it can certainly withstand the truth.